All right, now on the couches with the boys here. Shawn, McCormick, Hamilton Zone, and my main man, Justin Pooni. So last night I messaged you guys.
You did.
And I'm like, we got to do our own rankings when it comes to like the 10 biggest gamers in the top 4 sports leagues right now. And you said, you came in this morning, you're like, they're dogs. So now I'm changing it now. This is the dog ranking. And what inspired me was watching, or has been watching, Bryce Harper for the Phillies. Mm-hmm. That guy is so locked in. Every game, he's ready to play. Home runs. I was looking at his stats over the past couple seasons. One of the best October baseball players ever, period. OPS, I think with the Phillies right now, is like 1,200 over 2 postseasons. He's incredible. So anyway, it just got me thinking, like, we need to rank some of the most clutch players or dogs. So this is the Homestand Sports dog rankings. We got 10 players each. We all did our own individual rankings. Mm-hmm. We'll start at 10. We'll do 10, 9, 8, and 7. And I just finished ranking my players because I didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. I was procrastinating because it's so difficult. I'm not happy with my 10. I don't want to start, so I'm putting it on you, Shawn. Let's hear your number 10.
That's not very nice.
Let's hear 10.
So I didn't completely understand the assignment.
There we go.
No, I mean,
you're being honest. You're being honest.
I did it. I thought you meant of all time, so I made that list. You know, your Tiger Woods, your Michael Jordans.
Okay, fine. We'll go with it. It's fine.
No. I've got a good list.
Oh, you made a new list.
I can snap it up real quick. You know,
you can adjust.
Justin, on the other hand, didn't come up with 10 people until just now. So
we've been all over the place.
Like we haven't. Like you put out the instructions, and we all failed because. Yes. I didn't list the right amount of, or the right people. He didn't list the right amount of people, and you didn't rank them until like so 2 seconds before the air.
10 clutch dog players
that are currently
playing in the Big Four: NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL.
I went with a guy that is like an unsung guy who's failed a bit in the playoffs, but also has won Stanley Cup. A guy I don't particularly like. I went with Corey Perry.
Corey Perry's on your top 10 list of dogs?
Hold on. Dude. What are you doing, man?
What?
Corey Perry.
Corey Perry. That's way out of left field.
Corey Perry is...
Continue. Let him go.
He's a playoff performer, isn't he?
He is. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Especially against the Leafs.
But somebody who, you know, he's got a cup back in 2007 with the Ducks. Somebody who's made it to multiple cup finals. Somebody who's got a lot of playoff statistics, you know, 126 points in 190 games or something like that. And again, he's a current player for the next couple of years. He'll be in the league. So maybe somebody who just recently has been bothering me, and recently you've seen him in those cup finals. So maybe that's why it's sticking out to me. But
there's going to be recency bias. There's recency bias in my rankings as well. I'm not.
And you know, to be honest, you got to go a little like off the board sometimes. You know, you got to go a little off the board. So I went with Corey Perry.
That's not a little off the board. It's a lot off the board right there.
So where would you put Corey Perry in like the top 50?
75th.
Would you put him in 50?
Bro, Corey Perry's not even a relevant hockey player. The only reason he's relevant is because he points at fans and he's a rat.
He's a rat.
I get that he's irrelevant, but that's what like to me that's where he shines is like in those big moments.
So man, just looking at the players on my list, Corey Perry doesn't even come close. But that's you. That's just your ranking.
No judgment.
All right, give me your number 10, Justin.
But I think we gotta differentiate on the characteristics of what a dog is.
It means whatever you want it to mean.
So when I think of a dog, right, I think of like guys when I watch them play. And like you could equate like the DMX bark to how they play, like just aggressive, in your face, innovative, right? Like just something we've never seen before, or just something that like get you fired up. So number 10 for me, again, I gotta go to baseball because, again, I respect baseball players, but I don't think you need a whole lot of dog in you to be a baseball player.
Come on, son. Let's
so I'm gonna go.
Be careful what you say.
I'm gonna go with Ronald Acuna Jr. He's the biggest dog in baseball right now. The guy plays with passion. Now, he didn't play well in the playoffs this year, but, he had a great regular season. He brings some swag to the diamond. He's a better player than Shohei Ohtani. And quite frankly, he's a dog in the way he celebrates home runs. Right. He's got that dog mentality.
Yeah, I'm not with you with Acuna. He's not even on my top 10 list. He might be like top 15, top 20, but he's not there.
Than Corey Perry.
Oh, yeah. Well, way closer than Corey Perry.
I'm going to say my argument is he's at home right now. Probably on vacation after getting bounced from the playoffs.
40-70 season.
I have, MLB. I have a lot of MLB players on my list. And number 10, it kind of hurts me to have him there, but I just haven't seen enough of him in positions where he can be clutch. I haven't seen him. This is a baseball player. I haven't seen him in October.
Danny Jansen?
No.
Oh.
Shohei Ohtani.
You're getting on me for putting Acuna in.
But listen, my version of a dog is a guy who's been in the playoffs, been in the postseason when games matter.
He hasn't been in the playoffs.
And gets it done. But with that said, we saw a glimpse of what he can do in the WBC.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
That's the WBC.
That's an important game. That's an important tournament.
In one game. He played one important game.
That's why he's 10.
All right. Okay.
I still think he's the best player in baseball. So I think automatically you almost get on that list. Right? It's kind of stupid saying that with Acuna, but listen to me, Ohtani. Listen to these numbers at the WBC. 435, 606, 739, 4 doubles, home run, 10 walks in the tournament, while also pitching with a sub-2 ERA. And then in the final game, started as the pitcher, came out of the game. Did he start as a pitcher?
No, he closed the game.
No, sorry, my bad. Yes.
He started
pitched
the game before.
Yes, and he closed that game out against who?
Mike Trout.
Right now, the greatest American baseball player, Mike Trout, and shut that down and won the game.
I think
for
Bryce
Japan.
Harper's a better baseball player than Mike Trout.
Well, Bryce Harper is also on my list.
Okay, well then.
But I'm going Ohtani 10 because just because we haven't seen him enough in those positions.
All right.
I think once we do see him, then we're going to be like, oh, wow, he really is the real deal.
Right.
I just realized through our 3 first picks that we're going to get a lot of hate.
I
That's
like
fine.
that. Embrace the hate.
We got to roll through these. Okay, Shawn, number 9.
Jose Altuve.
Okay, I'm with you there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, not much needs to be said. I mean, World Series rings, World Series MVP, great during the regular season, great during the playoffs. I think he's 286 average in the playoffs or something like that. A lot of home runs for the Astros. Somebody who's
You're not making it really convincing with your tone right now. You're
continually
like
gets
falling
it
asleep.
done. It continually gets it done, and just somebody who is a force, like just very constant.
When it comes to October baseball, right now, Altuve is like that guy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
He's one of them for sure.
He's one of those guys. Okay, you're number 9, Justin.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, come on, man.
What are you talking about? He's a dog out there in the court.
I know you're on this.
He's on this agenda.
You're on this, Shea MVP thing. Like
Did you not
everybody
see what
else
he did
is.
if we're talking about international competitions, Shohei Ohtani, did you not see what he did in the World Cup for Canada?
I don't even think he's top 10 if you just do NBA players.
Did you not? This guy's a dog, bro. You see what happened? He's had the.
I'm not saying he's not a good
black
player.
eye. He's playing. This guy was a pure dog out there on the court.
So you probably left a lot of good players off of your list to add him.
Hey, I have a lot of NBA players on my list, maybe.
You're really on his train. Like,
Absolutely.
He's going to go big time
Watch
this year.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander play. Raptor fans out there are having like dreams about having him in a Raptors uniform. It's never going to happen.
Fantastic.
Right? But watch this guy play. The way this guy is, and he doesn't say a lot, but you could tell when he shows emotion, he's got that dog in him.
I think
got that dog in
I think in 3 to 5 years he'll be on this list. But
3
for
to
now,
5 years. He's in his prime right now.
I mean, he's playing very well.
He's going to win MVP this year.
Okay,
How
we'll
old
see.
is he? How old is he? I mean, he's
He's a young pup, man.
Yeah, he's still got.
He doesn't deserve to be on this list.
Young
but it's
pup, big
it's your
dog.
individual list.
Hey,
right?
young pups can make
That's
a
more of
whole
a
lot
Shih
of
Tzu
bark.
bark than a DMX
No,
bark.
Nah, don't disrespect Shea like
I'm
that.
not disrespecting
That's
him. I'm just
straight
saying.
disrespect right there.
All right, I'm going to another baseball player. Shawn, Yordan Alvarez.
Sure.
So this stat from yesterday kind of blew my mind. So the Astros are now 18-2, which is a 900 average in the postseason when he has an RBI. Only one other player has that average, career winning percentage, in the postseason while driving in a run, and that's Lou Gehrig. That's crazy numbers. And this is a guy who's a champ, another guy who always delivers. And we can say what we want about the Astros.
Still very young, too.
Everyone will come and say, well, they're cheaters. Who cares? They know when pitches are coming. But anyway, I'm not getting
He wasn't
into all
really
that.
around for that, though.
I understand that. But anytime you mention an Astro, you kind of get that kind of heat.
Yeah.
I have to go Alvarez. He shows us in every postseason that he's in that he performs. And that's what I mean by the dog, the clutch gene. Yordan Alvarez. Okay, we got to keep rolling here. Number 8, Shawn.
Justin Tucker. Kicker for the Baltimore Ravens.
That's actually a better pick than Corey Perry. So I'll give you
Probably.
Yeah.
Sure. Again, when you
Hold
get
on,
down
what
to
did you say?
Justin Tucker.
the kicker for the greatest kicker of all time.
I don't know.
Second greatest kicker of all time.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Adam Vinatieri was. You're talking about somebody who's clutch.
All right, go ahead.
Somebody with a great kicking percentage. Somebody who's one of the all-time scorers in National Football League history. Somebody when the game is on the line, you think he can hit a 60-yard field goal for you? Yeah. So that's to me is somebody who is that mentally sound.
Okay.
That can then perform under these high-pressure moments, these game-winning kick moments. That's Justin Tucker for me. He's like, again, on my other list, I had Mariano Rivera, one of like the ultimate closers of all time, somebody who led in saves. So this, to me, Justin Tucker, he's a closer. He's a guy that you can count on to kick a winning field goal for you.
It's true. He's no Brett Maher. He's not missing kicks.
No
every
Greg
game.
the Leg Zerline.
Greg Zerline. Okay, I screwed up my 9 and 8, but I'll get to that when I get there. Who's your number 8?
My number 8 is Jose Altuve.
Nice. Okay.
Because if you're not cheating, you're not trying, and he's a cheater, so he's a dog. He cheats. Simple as that. He's a dog because he
That's
cheats.
your reasoning?
Yeah, he's a dog because he cheats.
I hate
That's
you.
why.
I hate you. Okay, so my number 8 was supposed to be Alvarez, but I'll switch it right now. Sidney Crosby.
Okay.
Right?
Okay,
The 3 cups,
He's
2
my
Conn
he's my
Smythe.
number 7.
He's got the golden goal. We didn't see him in the playoffs last year, but when he's in there, he's one of the best performers.
See, I thought we were using current athletes at their peak, right? If he was like,
Oh, he's a current athlete.
yeah. But I'm saying in his prime, I would
He
have.
was like, what, top 15 scorer in the league last
Yeah,
year?
he had like 80 something points.
He's still that guy.
Yeah, I know who he is, but there's more dogs in the NHL, bigger dogs in the NHL than him.
Really?
Don't worry, we'll get to
Okay, we'll get to that. Yeah, I'm going Crosby. I think
Jeez.
it's easy to dismiss somebody you don't see when it comes to postseason and playoffs and whatnot.
Yeah.
We didn't see him. I think the same thing can probably be said for Ovechkin. I don't know if you guys have him on that list,
No, I don't.
but you know what I mean. Like
Just outside,
but
probably.
when the Capitals, when they were good and they're in the playoffs, it was him. They go as far as Ovechkin goes, so he can easily be on this list. But I'm gonna go Crosby. Like I said, you go 3 cups, 2 Conn Smythe. The guy's got a gold medal. He scores the goals when it matters. So I'm gonna go Crosby at number 8. All right, number 7. I'll just throw mine out there right now. I have Altuve as well, so we all have Altuve on the list. I couldn't believe it, but he's second when it comes to most postseason home runs, which is pretty incredible in baseball. With statistics matter a lot. Altuve is that guy. Who's your 7, Justin?
My number 7 is Leon Draisaitl. You know why? The guy led the playoff scoring with a high ankle sprain. He was playing on one leg and absolutely dominated in the playoffs in 2022. This guy scores 4 goals a game in the playoffs. He's a playoff performer. He's better than Austin Matthews. He's the second best player in the world. Leon Draisaitl is and he also plays with an edge. He's not like some superstars out there or quote-unquote superstars who shy away when the bright lights of the playoffs come on. I'm not naming any names, but I think we all know who I'm talking about.
You just named the name.
No, you're right. His playoff last year was incredible.
The year before that, too.
Yeah, the year
when
before
he played on one leg, I'm saying. This
took a
guy's
heavy-duty
dog.
slash from Petrangelo and
he's
just
a dog,
walked it off.
Bro. Name anybody else other than Connor McDavid you would want on your team. I'm taking Leon Draisaitl.
Shawn?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. He's a perennial 50-goal scorer.
I'll give you Draisaitl. I don't really like it, but it makes sense.
The dude's a
in
dog,
way.
bro.
Makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
He's never won anything, so we should probably throw that one
At
out
least
there.
he's won a couple playoff rounds unlike some people on your list.
But is your list about like how like hating against the Leafs? Is that your list?
No, it's hating against Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. John.
My 7 was Crosby. So
You got the Cross as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything other to add than what I said?
No, you touched on it pretty well, man. I mean, again, just somebody who you can count on, does a lot of things away from the puck well. Puck possession, winner, point getter, the
Cross,
pedigree.
man. Look, he scrapped this season already. Was it preseason?
Preseason.
Still. Crosby has no reason to do that. He doesn't even need to play preseason.
He doesn't
That's that dog. I kind of want to put him higher on the list now. What's Draisaitl doing?
Exactly. 120 points a season.
All right, number 6 for me. I got another baseball player. This time it's a pitcher. This guy's been a dog probably since day one. Justin Verlander, 2-time champ.
He's also a dog with the ladies, too. He's got
Yeah,
Kate
he is a
Upton.
dog. There you go. So now I want to put him higher on the list again. Second most wins all time in the postseason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the Astros went out to get him again. Not because he's over the hill, but to get it done. I mean, his ERA in the playoffs is sub-2. And he's played tons of games. He's always been there. Like I said, 2-time champ. I'm going to go Verlander as my number 6. Justin.
This guy hasn't played in the playoffs. He actually has played in the playoffs. His team played the stupidest basketball I've ever seen in my life. But Anthony Edwards is a complete dog out there. Anthony Edwards will put 30 on you and then lock your best player up. Anthony Edwards is a throwback player. Anthony Edwards.
How do you put Anthony Edwards ahead of Jose Altuve?
Because, again, it's just baseball is, he's a cheater. Right? So on the dog rankings, he makes
what has Anthony Edwards done besides like act really well in a movie one time? He's a good player, but what has he done?
He's a dog.
He failed with USA. He's failed with the Timberwolves.
Shohei Ohtani's failed with everything he's done too.
Anthony Edwards.
Shohei Ohtani.
Justin, man.
You're making the same.
I don't understand this list.
Anthony Edwards is a dog, bro. You got to watch him play. It's all about the
I'm not. I think he's a really good
player.
player.
But it's also about the mentality.
But he's never done anything.
He's still young. He's made it to at least he's made it to the playoffs. Okay. What is Shohei Ohtani? Anthony Edwards has that dog mentality in him. Okay, he is a throwback player. He is a dog.
You have him ahead of Draisaitl too, which that's crazy to me.
It's my list.
Considering that Edwards is not even a top 10 player in the NBA, Draisaitl is.
This year could be his year.
Like you said, the second best player in the NBA, and Edwards goes ahead of Draisaitl.
But here's the thing. Anthony Edwards has to play more of a two-way game than Draisaitl. He's got to play defense and offense. Draisaitl, let's face it, doesn't play a 200-foot game.
All right. You know who plays a 200-foot game?
Oh.
Austin Matthews. Shawn, who's your number?
Is that your dog?
Who's your number 6? No, he's not on my list.
We've reached the NBA portion of my list.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with John Morant for his off the court
No, you're not.
antics.
Oh boy.
Are
Why
you serious?
not?
John Morant?
John Morant.
So what is your list based on?
It's a cornucopia of things. Really.
Cornucopia.
Jeez.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot of different characteristics. I put out like little categories and then rank them. It's tiers. It's a whole bunch of. It's a
Is there a
system.
selection
It's a
committee?
system you wouldn't understand.
Okay,
all right?
so also
'Cause
John
I
Morant,
barely
another guy
understand.
who hasn't done anything, who I think could end up, if he figures it all out,
Yeah.
I think could be one of the best players in the NBA. I don't know if that's going to happen,
Yeah.
but he's
Some
none.
of this
Again,
is-
he's done nothing
Okay.
except become TMZ headlines.
That's true.
That's true. No, again, I did say off the court antics. He's got that dog in him.
All right, let's go to the top 5. And you guys tell me if I have this guy too low. I think I do. LeBron James. You guys have him in your top 5?
Yeah,
I do.
of course.
Of course.
He's Justin's number 1 is my guess. That's my guess. That's my guess.
And like anytime this guy gets in the playoffs, when he's not injured, he is the guy. The only reason the Lakers had no chance against the Nuggets, outside of obviously Jokic was unstoppable, but he was injured. And the Lakers, even now with LeBron James at his age, year 21, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers still go as far as LeBron James goes.
100%.
And you can't say that about many players across the top 4 leagues at his age doing what he's doing. So that's why he gets into my top 5. I kind of feel like I have him a little bit low. I think maybe because of his age, you can even make the case that he could be the number 1 guy on this list. But anyway, all our lists are completely different. You have John Morant, which is blowing my mind
Got that
right now.
dog in him.
Okay, number 5 for Justin.
I'm going to go Connor McDavid, best player in the NHL. He has a bit of a mean streak to him.
He does.
And you know what? He's a dog. Simple as that. There's no other question. If you want the 2 biggest dogs in the NHL, they're both in Edmonton. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want any 2 other players in the league other than them.
You know who I'd put ahead of him? And I'm with you. I think McDavid is obviously the best player. But true dog in him, Matthew Tkachuk. And he showed that last playoffs.
Yeah.
100-point guy.
Yeah.
Took his team to the finals, obviously with Bobrovsky. But he's got everything. 200-foot game. He fights. He hits. He scores.
It's true.
He's a leader.
McDavid does this. He doesn't fight, but he does
Right.
everything else.
McDavid needs that cup, eh? He needs it bad.
They're going to win it this
He
year.
needs it more than most players.
They're
in
not
any
going to
sport.
win it.
They're going to
this
win the
year.
cup this year.
No.
Trust me.
With Skinner and Campbell as their
Skinner,
two?
yeah.
Or are they going to get a new
Yeah,
goalie?
absolutely.
Wow, that's a
I'm
shame.
calling it right now.
Okay, Shawn McCormick, numero 5.
Yeah, it's also McDavid.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
McMuffins over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Anything to add?
no. Again, I think if he'd be higher on the list had he, if you win a championship, but you make it to the Western Conference Final, you're the guy. Like again, you said earlier on the podcast last week. I think you just like that's the Rocket Richard Trophy is more interesting than the Art Ross because it's McDavid's trophy to win every year as long as he stays healthy. So you can count on a guy like that to be the guy every night and regular season or playoffs, and that to me is huge. So
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to argue when you're talking about like one of the best players in the league, one of the best players ever. He might get to that point.
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay, number 4. This is, like I said, my NBA portion. Steph Curry, number 4. I don't know if I should have put him ahead of LeBron, though.
probably.
That's tough.
Oh no, sorry, probably not. I would have put LeBron ahead of him.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Game 7, NBA Finals. Who would you rather have, Steph Curry or
You
LeBron
saw that.
James?
LeBron won.
I'm asking you, though.
Saying,
LeBron?
That's my answer, yeah.
I know. I think it's LeBron. I think you could either way. You can go. I love Steph Curry. I mean, the guy's been incredible. He's changed the way basketball is, and we've seen in the playoffs before. I feel like almost every time Golden State get into the playoffs, Steph Curry is stealing at least 1 or 2 games every single series by himself. That's that dog, right? That's that DMX bark, Justin Pooni.
Yeah, I would do the
thought he
DMX.
had
Oh, I thought you were gonna give us one.
I was about to
Are
do
you
it.
saving it?
No.
You're not saving
Maybe
your
I
bark?
am. Maybe I am.
I think you need to save it. So I'm gonna go Steph Curry at number 4. Pooni, who you got?
Number 4, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts.
Really?
Jalen Hurts is, quite frankly to me, the biggest dog in the NFC. I think Jalen Hurts is a leader. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl, had a historically great Super Bowl, right? Guy is an absolute monster in the weight room. He's a leader. He's a guy who plays through injury. He played again in the Super Bowl through injury. This guy right here, I wouldn't, next to Patrick Mahomes, I would not want another person leading my team other than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a dog. He plays in a city that's a tough city to play in, and he owns that city. Jalen Hurts is a dog.
And I'm just thinking about this one.
Think about it. He's a dog, bro.
How do you feel about
He's
that?
also got the best
Do you have him in
Instagram
your
quotes.
top 4?
He's also a quote.
No,
Shawn.
I don't have him. I only have one football player on this list. I
Russell
almost
Wilson?
put number 2. I almost put 2 on. Justin Jefferson just missed the list for me. He probably should have made the list instead of Corey Perry.
I don't know if I'm there with Jalen Hurts.
I think again, it depends. I mean, it seems like he's got a bright future. Like, again, going off of last year, but he has not played very well this year.
No.
And the Eagles' offense has been – it's early. The Eagles' offense has been inconsistent, and some of that is because of Jalen Hurts. So we'll see. I mean, the way he was running previous to this year, the way he played last year, yes. The person that he's been on the field this year, not so much. But, again, that's – it's counterintuitive. Those seasons they balance each other out. We'll see how his future is. But for me this year, he's not a dog.
Justin, you made a really good point, though. There's 2 quarterbacks who you'd be comfortable leading your team in a Super Bowl, and it'd be Jalen Hurts and Mahomes. I'm trying to think of the third one. Who would that be? Like, would you really trust Lamar Jackson? Probably not.
No.
Joe Burrow.
Josh Allen. Yeah, I guess Joe Burrow too.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow just about made my list.
His stock's gone down a lot, right, with the injury and stuff. Not his fault. The guy's hurt.
Climbing back up.
Also, Jalen Hurts has the best quote game in sports.
You know what? I'm okay. I think I'm okay with that. For now. Number 4, Shawn.
Nikola Jokic.
Okay. I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just mean like you count on him for a triple-double every night. Sure, he'll deliver. And like, I just like his demeanor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's quiet, but like he is who he is, and I like that about him. But like, he's one of those guys like that you poke him enough, and he'll snap. He'll snap, and he'll be in.
Well, he did it to one of the Morris brothers.
One of the Morris brothers never saw him ever again.
And
yeah.
Jokic got heat for that. Meanwhile, they're the one poking him, elbowing him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to retaliate. You have to. I love that.
It's true.
And the fact that his brothers are always in the crowd, those 2 7-foot behemoths. I don't know if they're 7 foot, but they look 7 foot.
They're yoked.
And I think that, again, similar to a couple people we've talked about, like he could be near the top of this list. I mean, he's already my number 4, but he could be even higher in a couple of years because I think, again, as long as he stays healthy, I think he'll continue to deliver those triple doubles. I think that the Nuggets can contend again this year. I think there's a lot of promise for Nikola Jokic, and then I go home. My job is done.
Yeah, dude, he nearly averaged a triple double in the postseason last year. He's
should have been at regular
through
season
60.
MVP.
If you go 60 games played and you look at all-time playoff scoring, he's 6th on the list, almost averaging a triple double. He walked to a triple double in some of those games, and like you said, like I still feel like there's another level to Jokic that we haven't seen yet. I still think he can get better. Probably should have won the MVP as well. I have him number 3 on my list.
Nice.
He's a top 3 guy in all of sports right now.
You have Jokic ahead of Steph and LeBron?
Yeah. And like I said, there's going to be recency bias on you. There is. Hold on. Don't shake. Just for our audio listeners, Justin is shaking his head. Let's look who he has on his list. He has Anthony Edwards ahead of Draisaitl, Altuve. He has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on his list. 2 guys who've done
What's Shohei Ohtani done again?
It doesn't. So he won the WBC, bro.
Big whoop.
I think your list is the best list so far, Albert.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But we'll see where.
Have faith in your
I've
list.
got a couple half-baked answers. You've got a couple of half-baked answers. I think Albert's is the most
Albert took
constant.
the generic like mainstream list.
What's generic about it?
What's your list again?
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Steph Curry. So Shawn mentioned how Jokic is quiet, right? Dogs aren't quiet. They're loud. They bark. Steph Curry's game is loud. His personality is loud. He is the best shooter ever in NBA history. He's a 4-time champion. He strikes fear in everybody's heart. Steph Curry, again, he talks a lot of trash, but he backs it up. The way he waves to everybody, turns around before he shoots. Steph Curry's a dog. He's one of the biggest dogs in all of sports. That's why he's my number 3.
I'm with you, but I don't think dogs need to be that loud.
He's loud, man.
Kawhi Leonard says 3 words a season.
My dogs
and he's
are loud.
one of the best players in the NBA.
This is my dogs.
All right, this is your dog.
If he was healthy,
no, I'm not going to argue Steph Curry top 3. You
my
can't.
dogs. Are loud.
If he was healthier too, Kawhi, he could have made this list. But the fact that he doesn't
if he plays
play
basketball.
Yeah,
if he plays basketball.
Curry's my number 3 too. So.
Okay. Anything to add?
No, again, you talked about it when you talked about it, Albert. He changed the game. With the 3-point shot, just like everybody wants to emulate that style of basketball, and you see it now. You have Wemby shooting 7-footers shooting threes. It's nuts, man, and he's mostly responsible for that. And then you got the scoring, you got the championships, and he's a loud personality. He's got different leagues he's associated with, shoes. He's got the whole branding thing down too.
Dog.
So.
There's a chance that when he retires, he'll become a PGA Tour pro. His game is that
could
good.
be, yeah.
So that almost elevates him on this list. Okay, to the top 2, and this is where things should get interesting.
Woo-wee.
Want me to start?
Yeah.
Numero dos. The man who inspired this list.
Bryce Harper at number 2.
Bryce.
Get out of here, man. Bryce Harper?
Producer Stevie clapping behind the screens over there.
How could a baseball player be number 2 in the dog rankings?
Why? What does that mean?
Did you see him, man?
Hold on. What does that mean, though? What's this thing you have against baseball players?
I don't have anything to get. Look, when you need a dog in the trenches, right? I don't know if the baseball diamond's like a trench. You know?
What does that mean?
Like, you gotta be like tough and physical.
He is. He's all those things.
Well, he plays first base.
Yeah, so what does that mean?
He mauls home runs. Hey, look, he gets that crowd electric as you know what in Philadelphia, right? That's a certain type of dog.
Philly loves him. How hard is it to get Philly to love you? They absolutely love him.
Did you see him flip out on Angel Hernandez a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but anybody can. That's not like a dog.
Did you see him Orlando Arcia in the Braves?
That whole Phillies team, that they can be at the top of this list in terms of dogs.
Castellano,
All of them.
Yeah.
They all play for each other. Harper plays hard. If you're looking at October players, it's Bryce Harper. I mentioned it, 24 games with the Phillies in the playoffs. The guy's OPS is 1,200. He has 10 home runs. What wins World Series? Power. He's got power. He's a leader. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in baseball right now. Yes, there's recency bias, but I know, and I think we all know, when the playoffs comes around and Bryce Harper is involved, he's going to perform. Okay. And that's all I ask for all these players on this list.
Okay.
Is he the new Mr. October?
No, whoa, don't disrespect
you can't really,
Reggie
it's
Jackson
hard to do
like that.
I just wanted to trigger him.
He needs to start winning some
Reggie Jackson.
He needs to start winning some championships.
Yeah.
And we'll put him in there, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, one guy in baseball, it's not like the NBA, cannot win by himself, right? So you need players around you. I think the Phillies are going to do it. But Harper, he's my number 2 on this list, Justin Pooni.
All right. So like I said, right, if you want to be a dog, you got to play in the trenches. You got to get dirty, right? So, what's the most difficult sport, physically taxing sport in North America?
Football.
Foosball.
And who is the biggest dog in the NFL?
Patrick Mahomes.
Number 15 in the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. The biggest dog in the NFL. We saw this guy in that Netflix documentary. We saw this guy play with a high ankle sprain, gutted it out, won the game on his legs in that game, won the Super Bowl with you, me, and Dupree as the wide receiving core. Again, he has Travis Kelce. But look, when it comes to the NFL, there is no bigger dog in the NFL than Patrick Mahomes. And quite frankly, if you've seen his dad, a baseball player, he got that dog from his dad. Like his dad was a dog. He's a dog. Patrick Mahomes, by far and away, is the biggest dog in the NFL and the second biggest dog in all of sports.
Can't argue it. Shawn?
LeBron James is my number 2.
Okay.
I can't argue with Justin's number 2. Just again, LeBron is probably the greatest basketball player of all time.
Well, he's not, but that's another conversation for another time. Go ahead. Sorry. I just had to throw that in there. That's a teaser for
another episode. Yeah, man, just the attitude, the championships, the failures, and then like coming back, the decision. I don't know. He's always got to be the focal point. And I think that is something like about a dog too, like always knowing how to play the media, always knowing, when to do certain things, when to move. LeBron is he's miles ahead as far as like mind games in the NBA. And he's just done such a great job. He's a billionaire. There's not you can't say much wrong about LeBron James except that he whines a little bit too much on the court.
A little bit of flopping here and there drives me crazy.
So he's my number 2. Dogs can flop sometimes too. He knows how to play the game.
You made a good point. Listen, I think for this list to make it on this list, at least my list, one of the criteria is you welcome the spotlight and you welcome the pressure. Mm-hmm. And I don't think no one personifies that probably more than LeBron James. You can throw Mahomes on the list too. It doesn't matter, right? Bryce Harper. These guys, that's exactly what they want. They'll take it on the chin for their team because they know coming out the next game they can perform. And that's LeBron. I love LeBron. I'm assuming he's your number 1, Justin Pooni.
No, you have to go number 1, don't you first?
Want me to go number 1?
Yeah, we'll keep it in order.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Like what else can you say about the guy? I mean, I wrote down some stuff, but like in 7 seasons, he's appeared in the Super Bowl 3 times. He's won 2 Super Bowl MVPs in such a short amount of time. This is not going out on a limb. He's going to end up being the greatest quarterback of all time. passing Tom Brady, which tells you that alone, being in that conversation makes you the dog.
Being in that conversation already, too, right?
He's at the head of the table, Justin Pooni. Acknowledge him.
The big dog in the yard, eh?
Okay, your number one is
the big dog in the yard in all of sports. You know, you need a dog is a protector, right? You know, a dog defends the yard, right? Defends, you know, the beware of dog sign you have at your house
Rottweiler.
to scare away people.
German Shepherd.
Who protects the kingdom like nobody else in
Pitbull.
sports? LeBron James. King James is the biggest dog in all of sports. He protects the NBA. He's been the focal point of the NBA. He's carried the NBA. Quite frankly, he's the carried sports for the last decade. He is the guy when it comes to anything in sports. You ask people around the world, who's the biggest athlete in the world? You could say Messi, you could say Ronaldo. It is LeBron James. LeBron James transcends from one corner of the earth to the other corner of the earth. LeBron James is tough. He's a competitor. He holds people accountable. He's a leader. He's clutch. LeBron James is the biggest dog in all of sports.
That clip is going to do really well on TikTok. Follow Justin Pooni on TikTok, by the way, to see that clip. Shawn McCormick.
How can I follow that?
Do you object with anything Justin has just said?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the biggest in the world. I mean, that's such a...
Remember, this is top 4 leagues in North America.
Yeah.
Right? If we're going world, then this is a different list.
No,
he's bigger than Ronaldo, bigger than Messi, man. Come on now.
I don't know about that. But
dog status? Absolutely.
He's in the top 3.
In this immeasurable dog status? Yes, yes.
Trust me, he'll get more DMX barks than Messi and Ronaldo put together.
No, probably. But yeah, it's...
not
it's
probably. No,
well,
he doesn't.
He gets more barks. That's
LeBron...
More
LeBron,
barks.
Messi, Ronaldo. LeBron is third on that
We're talking
list.
barks, though.
That's your bias, though.
That's not a bias.
No, I
worldwide popularity.
LeBron is a bigger dog than Messi. I'm not saying he's a better global. He's a bigger dog mentality-wise than Messi and Ronaldo.
But I think Ronaldo and Messi are bigger stars.
That's close. That's a good conversation to have.
I don't know.
They're bigger
You
stars.
go to any corner of the world, right? They know all 3 of them, right?
For sure.
Right? I'm saying, like, you go to Argentina, people know who LeBron James is. You go to Portugal, people know who LeBron James is. You go to China, you go to Saudi Arabia, you go anywhere. People know who LeBron James is.
I think part of that is, though, too, right? It's so hard for athletes of that size to not stand out. You know what I mean? Messi goes to a Publix in Miami, and, you know, he's, you know, was he size-wise? Was he 5'8"?
Yeah, he's short. Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's gonna like fit in with everybody.
But he was still getting pictures taken.
Of course.
But the same thing would happen with LeBron.
No, but
we're going somewhere else in this conversation. We're talking popularity.
When LeBron goes to like Asia and LeBron goes to other countries, like LeBron will stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, and
like,
the NBA is incredibly global. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not taking anything away from the NBA. I'm just saying that's part of why LeBron is so recognizable. Is like he is almost 7 feet tall. He is and he's a global superstar. People know his face. People know his voice. People know his brand. I'm not taking anything away from LeBron here. And I do agree that he's a bigger dog, whatever that means, than Messi and Ronaldo. But as far as superstar status globally, I would side with the 2 soccer players.
Did you guys see what Messi did at the World Cup at his age?
Of course.
Okay. We're talking dog, right?
That's
performing
fine.
on the biggest stage.
What is LeBron on the biggest stage?
I understand that, but I don't think it's so cut and dry.
But
Messi's failed a few times on the biggest stage too. Has he not?
You have to.
Did he not lose a World Cup final?
The only reason these guys are at the top of these lists is because they failed.
Mahomes has lost the Super Bowl.
You
before?
have to fail. It's impossible not to fail, dude.
Absolutely.
Look at Michael Jordan. Didn't make his high school team. Didn't win a championship for
Lost
the first
to the
7 years.
Yeah, the
Pistons. Fail to become the greatest. That's just what it takes. All right,
Second greatest.
Ooh.
Michael Jordan's the greatest. Okay, now go ahead. You're number 1.
Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes. So we have similar here.
Yeah, and again, I can't really add too much to what you guys said already about Mahomes. I mean, he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay, so we might have to like put this on social and rank these lists because the Fugazi meters going off. You know what a Fugazi is?
Can you say my list is better than his though? I got like my number 10 is a bit out of whack. My number 10 is a bit out of whack.
I forgot about Corey Perry.
That just like drops you like 10
I
notches.
forgot. And John Morant. No, your list is the worst.
Why?
John Morant, Corey Perry, bro.
John Morant's better than Anthony Edwards and Shea.
That's debatable.
Okay, my list, which makes the most sense.
It's the most mainstream.
Ohtani, Crosby,
list.
Alvarez, Altuve, Verlander, LeBron James. I probably should have put LeBron higher. Curry, Jokic, Bryce Harper, recency bias, Patty Mahomes, Shawn McCormick, Corey Perry, Altuve, Justin Tucker, God, Crosby, John Morant, McDavid, Jokic, Curry, Braun, Mahomes, Justin Pooni, Acuna, Shea, Altuve, Draisaitl, Edwards.
Anthony.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's bad. I forgot. I'm like,
Leon Edwards?
Leon Edwards? Okay. I would take Leon Edwards over Anthony Edwards.
For sure.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards.
He's a champion.
What was his last fight?
He won.
The fight before that.
Won.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
oh yeah, he did win. Yeah, my bad.
Did you see what he did to Usman? You see Usman
Yes,
talk the other day?
Kamaru Usman
Can't even
is-
speak English
Kamaru
anymore.
Usman is not the same fighter he was. He's old now.
Okay, we're not getting into
Washed.
that. Connor McDavid, Jalen Hurts, Steph Curry, Mahomes, and LeBron James. Oh, you figured it out near the end there, but
I gotta get some young pups in there.
Again,
man.
I agree. Albert's list wins. Congratulations, Albert.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll put it on social.
Okay,
we'll
no,
get them ranked.
You already know. You already know you won.
No,
he
man,
didn't.
but people think different things. We don't even have a clear idea of what this list is.
What is a dog?
Yeah,
It's dogs, it's gamers, it's clutch guys.
My dogs
Let
are
us know where we missed out,
fit under a
guys.
certain criteria. Your dogs fit under a different criteria. Right?
Okay, well, we almost came close to agreeing. We have Mahomes in the top 2. I probably should have had Braun in the top 2.
Yeah,
but
that's
whatever.
your fault.
Bryce Harper, please go on and win a World Series to make this list matter about a little bit more. Oh, Sean McCormick.
No, it's not happening.